Hello there, Spiritual Biz Success peeps. How are you guys? I'm Kimberly Maska, founder of Spiritual Biz Bootcamp. And today I want to talk a little bit about money, which is so closely tied to our spiritual businesses. But what do you think about money? This is like the big question, because money, of course, is energy. And we all seem to desire money, right? I mean, you ask people, like, what are their goals? What do they want to do in life? It always is tied to money. How do we view success as tied to money, right? That's like the standard 3D version of what this all means. And so when we're looking at money, we got to figure out, what are we thinking about money? What are our thoughts about money? And then how does that vibration that we're putting out show up in our lives every day? So I know as spiritual entrepreneurs, I hear all the time, like, they're not creating enough abundance. How do I create a more abundance? There are an amazing amount of abundance courses out there, right? You go search, like, how do I manifest money? There's like a million different things. But we've got to first start with the basics about what are our thoughts about money? What does that look like for us? And it's just the quick thoughts that fleet in and out of our minds that will have a major impact. Most people have these like very odd thoughts about money, that money is evil. I saw this great post the other day on Facebook, of course. It says, if money is evil, then why did they ask for it at church? I thought that was pretty funny. But it's like money is evil, or there's not enough money, or I don't have enough money, or my business isn't creating enough money, or how do I create more money with my business? There's all this scarcity around it. And so those thoughts that we have around money have a massive impact in how that abundance shows up in our lives. Because every time we feel this little moment of scarcity regarding money, that little fleeting thought around it, it just pushes it away. So what are your thoughts about money? And if you guys are here live, you're more than welcome to pop stuff into the chat. I want to know what your thoughts are about money. Do you think it's scarce? Do you think there's not enough? Do you think if you have money that someone else won't have money? That's a big one. That whole there's not enough to go around thought about money. That if you have a lot, what about the people who don't? I'll tell you this, if you have a lot of money, you're able to really help the people who don't, because you're able to give back. And if you don't have money, then I don't know how you're going to help them. But when we start to really evaluate our thoughts around money, our businesses start to shift, and our spiritual businesses start to be more abundant as we first review what's going on in here, right? What goes on in here is what's going to show up in our businesses out there. So when we're out there trying to create the business, we need to be really clear about our money thoughts. What are those? So we need to remove the scarcity, remove the idea that there's not enough. And what if someone else, if you have money that someone else won't have enough, or that there's all this stuff, especially when we're talking about spirituality, right? That's like the big no-no. You should be giving your gifts away for free. Well, if you've been in this Facebook group long enough, you know that's not my belief at all, because there needs to be an energy exchange that needs to happen. So when we look at our beliefs that we're carrying around with us, they might be these tiny little beliefs we don't even realize that we have. So I was sharing a story today. We just all had tax time recently and had to pay our taxes. And then, hey, Bridget. Bridget is actually in my mastery, my year graduate of boot camp. You guys have probably seen her amazing stuff she's done in the group here, and she is part of my year-long mastery program. But so she was all about this abundance stuff for me all the time. But I was sharing this story earlier in actually the boot camp call, and there was someone I was having a conversation with. We all know we just had tax time, and someone was really kind of like complaining about the fact that they had to pay taxes, and kind of this like, tax time, and this about taxes and that about taxes. And I was like, this is really interesting, because they definitely have a struggle with money. So it's a very clear thing that there is a scarcity mentality with this person. So they were complaining about taxes, which just shows me that they're just not ready to accept abundance. Because I personally would rather have a really big tax bill because I made a lot of money that year than not have to pay the government because I didn't make anything. Like, that's a complete backwards way of thinking. So you want to be able to create that abundance and be able to hand it back out, whether it's to pay your taxes or whether it's to help people, to give back to a spiritual center that's helping guide you on your path. You want to be able to do that. And so that simple thought this person had about money, about having to pay their tax bill, was clearly a low vibration. And it shows up in their life. I see them struggle with money. So these thoughts about money, these beliefs that we've been told and that we carry with us, it's so important to have an awareness of what those are. Because when we can start to have an awareness of what those money beliefs are, we can start to release those money thoughts. And we can release those money thoughts, then the abundance starts to show up. We have to get rid of them first, though. If you're holding on to them, there's no room for new beliefs. So if you're trying to get your spiritual business to succeed, and you've been working at it, you've got to step back and look at what are your thoughts about money. Because I see this really consistently in my boot camp, in Spiritual Biz Boot Camp, that I'm teaching everybody the exact same thing in boot camp. Comes in and it does amazing. Like boot camp, like I've seen people just soar. In fact, one of our boot campies today, he shared, and this week he made $12,000. Like this week he made $12,000 in boot camp. So I am teaching the same thing to everybody. And yet some people will soar like this guy did, and he made 12 grand over the weekend. And then some people will struggle, and they're like just not quite getting it. And they're just having trouble making that connection. And I see that the difference is their belief in money. It's the thoughts that pop into their head about money. Like it's about not being comfortable with that energy exchange. So if you're ready to have the energy exchange and you want to create abundance, which pretty much everybody says, yes, how do we create abundance? I don't have money. How do I create it? How do I manifest it? How do I have it come into my life? Well, you're going to have to rethink the thoughts that you have. You're going to have to shift them. You're going to have to try that again. You're going to have an awareness of those thoughts so that you can remove those negative thoughts from your reality. Because when you can shift your vibration around the money, it begins to show up. But until you do that, that little tiny thought, whatever it is, like the bill shows up, say it's your gas bill or something, it shows up in the mail and you look at it and you go, oh, you know that? That right there is a low energy. If you can, in a low vibration, if you can realize and really get in your body about the fact that we are abundant, we are meant to be abundant, that there is abundance everywhere you look on this planet until you look where man has intervened. Like it is truly our birthright. And I don't just mean our birthright in that, yes, it's our birthright. Like people say, oh, it's your birthright to be abundant. And it's true, but to understand that the energy of money is the same energy that the Creator used to create worlds. That same energy created us. It's the same energy. So that energy of money is us. It belongs to us. It is part of us. And the only reason why there's separation around money and us is because we've been given these limiting beliefs, usually by very well-meaning people, that to warn us about money and the trickery that people will do with it and all this other nonsense. But if we were all abundant, there wouldn't be any trickery around money. If everyone could master the abundance that they deserve, that is their birthright, there wouldn't be any issues because everyone would have. And when there's an abundance of things, nobody's taking from anybody else. So it's the thoughts that we have about money that keep us from being successful. That differentiates the truly successful spiritual entrepreneur and the one that is not. Even when I'm teaching them the exact same steps in the exact same course, it's our thoughts. So I want you guys, I'm going to challenge you to go home tonight and write down like 10 limiting beliefs you have about money. Is it that, rich people are snobby, that rich people are greedy, that money is, doesn't belong with spirituality? Maybe it's that you don't feel that you deserve money. Write out what those beliefs are, and then I challenge you to write them out and then flip them around so that you have the positive beliefs that are going to get you to the point where you can start to attract that abundance. So you're going to remove the old so that you're going to make room for the new. You're going to remove those old beliefs. You're going to replace it with new beliefs so that your thoughts about money shift your vibration, and then it will start to show up for you. So that is your little homework tonight to be able to do. And I'd love to hear how it works for you guys. So remember, how you think about money is how it shows up in your life. So have an awareness of what those thoughts are so that you can create. Because that creation point, again, is our birthright. And when you're ready to create, and really create that business. Hello, Liza. Liza also in my mastery. And so when you're ready to create and really create the money and abundance that you deserve, that is really your birthright, and you want to get your spiritual business to that level where you're able to do that and do just like David did this week and make $12,000 in a week, which is amazing and beautiful and so doable for every single one of you out there, then reach out. Talk to us about Spiritual Biz Bootcamp. I'll post a link above so you can watch my free training. And at the end of that free training, if you feel that we are a vibrational match, book a call with my team, and you can get the same results after you shift your vibration with money. So again, I'm Kimberly Maska, founder of Spiritual Biz Bootcamp. You have a beautiful day, and I will see you in the Facebook group. Have a great one, guys. Bye-bye.